Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, my beautiful girlies. It's Grace, and let's hop right in to this makeup get ready with me. So, for today's topic of discussion, what are the things that I do as a young hoe? So, I am super duper excited to talk about this topic because I've seen this, trend of basically, young hoes cook everything on high. And I have, I have never related to a tweet so bad. And I'm pretty sure that this tweet was put out like at the end of last year, I think, beginning of this year. I think it was the end of last year, but don't quote me on that. I don't know. I think that this topic is just so interesting to, think about and talk about, because it's like, what are some things that we do as young people that older folks don't do? And I am telling you, I have such a long list of things that I do as a young hoe, but if I talk about every little thing, then we're literally gonna be here for hours. So I personally have three points or things that I personally do as a young hoe, and these are the things that relate to me so bad. Other things related to me as well, but these three things related to me the very, very best. So the first thing that I personally do as a young hoe is not letting the car heat up before I go to work or to school. And this one definitely took the cake for me, for sure, because I don't know, I've never really personally understood the point of heating up your car before you go to work or school. I don't know, I never really understood that. I mean, unfortunately, most mornings for me are I just gotta get up and go. I don't really understand the whole thing about waiting however long for your car to heat up. I don't know, that's just not me personally. I'm just not gonna wait. I mean, my philosophy with that honestly is even though I'm not letting my car heat up, it'll heat up along the way. It'll heat up along the way I'm going to my to my destination. So why do I have to wait X amount of minutes to go anyways? I don't know, I just never personally understood the point of that per se. I don't know, that I just never understood that. And in all honesty, I don't even know where that honestly even came from. I don't even know how I honestly started doing that. Just getting in the car and go. It most likely probably is a young person thing, because I know for example, the older people in my life, my parents or aunties, uncles, all of that, what they would do is that they would, in their day, just wait for the car to heat up, and then they would just, go on about their merry way. But I guess for people in my generation, that's just not really the case. I mean, most likely the reason why we're leaving in the rush anyways is because we've probably woken up pretty late as well to for our destination. for our destination. What? We've woken up late anyways because we probably slept late like the night before, and we're just trying to be on go, 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 go. And I know, y'all, I'm so sorry that I'm revealing our young people secrets, but I don't know. I kind of think this is like common sense, because at least for me, yeah, I most likely like slept late the night before, and I'm now just starting to get ready for work and all that. And I don't know, I mean, I don't know, probably I just don't have any patience or whatever, but I just don't really see the point in even waiting that long just for your car to heat up. Because like I said before, you can literally, it can literally just heat up as, you know, as you're going. I mean, is it gonna be cold, you know, whatchamacallit, for a little bit as you drive off? Oh, heck yes. It's going to be annoyingly cold for a bit. It is, but you know, I don't know. It's just kind of like you only have to deal for the cold for like a couple of minutes. And if anything, my generation is the real G for even putting up with that, you know, because most people that want to like wait until their car heats up, they can't even stand being in the cold, you know. But like sometimes you just got to get up and go. Nobody has got the time to wait a million years just for the car to heat up. That just never made sense to me. Now, I guess the exceptions of this could just be like if it's just like icy cold, like, oh, you know, like if it was like what, like maybe 30 degrees last night, or you know, it's just been really, really cold like during the winter. That's how I could see where I would like heat up the car for at least like probably a minute or two. But I feel like even heating the car up for that long, I don't know, I feel like for me that kind of doesn't do anything because it's still mad cold. I don't know, I just feel like it just takes so long for the car to heat up. And you know, like I really can or could be patient, and you know, that's something that, you know, my, you know, generation needs to practice is patience, you know, because I know we do live in a instant gratification world. But I don't know, I mean, with this, I don't know, your patience really does run really, really thinly, because it's like, I mean, could we wait? We definitely could, and we definitely should, but we're young people, so it's like, why wait when we can find another way, another effective way to do, you know, what has commonly been done in a different way. So I don't know, I like to call that innovation. So, you know, an idea of this that we could do is like, okay, you know, when, you know, maybe the car is heating up for a bit, we're trying to get some other stuff done, and you know, that could be one thing that we can do. Okay, like, you know, I heat up my car, and you know, while I'm heating up my car, I am either making, you know, some kind of like breakfast or whatever. I'm just, you know, trying to you know, just do some little like last minute things before I head on excuse me, on my day and whatever. So I don't know, that can kind of be like you know, one example that, you know, we can honestly start doing a little bit if it really is that cold in those, you know, exceptions. But yeah, I don't know. To me, this is just, you know, mad. Oh, okay, actually, That's not that bad. I put this eyeshadow a little bit over my crease, and I don't really know if that's really the right way to do it, but I did it, and it's too late to kind of take this off. I probably didn't do this right, but it's okay. You know, we live and we learn, because usually I put it like around here, so I don't know, I'm just kind of following the shape of my crease and just kind of just, you know, doing it from there. But yeah, y'all, my bad, I was, you know, distracted. But anyways, but yeah, that could definitely be one thing that, you know, we can do for sure, is, you know, do some other things while we're waiting for our car to heat up. If it really is that cold one day and we don't have to like rush or anything like that. So that could definitely be a possibility, you know, just when you're done with your stuff, then, you know, you can, you know, just close the door, do whatever you gotta do, and then we can be on our merry way, stuff like that. And yeah, but I don't know, generally speaking, sometimes, not even sometimes, most of the times, nah, like we gotta go, okay? We don't really got the time to wait a million gazillion years for the car to heat up. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, and like I said before, it's really not even that cold for that long as well. Like usually it'll get hot anyways. It'll get hot like really soon, depending on the model car that you have. So, you know, you're really only sacrificing like a minute or two of like, you know, coldness to start to get that heat. So, but yeah, so yeah, you guys, not letting the car heat up would be the first thing that I definitely do as a young ho. So the second thing that I do as a young ho would have to be using the dryer instead of an iron to have my clothes be crisp. So, and here's what I mean by this point. So, gosh, this point hits so hard for me. Like, when I honestly saw this point, I literally laughed so hard, because this is just me to a T. If you really know me, you would know that I don't really see a point in ironing. I've seen my parents iron. I've seen older people iron, but you know, people my age ironing, I mean, I'm not saying people my age don't iron, but I more so don't really see a point when you have a dryer. I've tried ironing once before, and let's just say it didn't go how I expected it to go. It was a mess. I was, you know, and to tell the story, I was literally trying to iron one of my shirts for like a event, for a conference. And what happened was that there was like this little logo thing for the conference, and I, you know, basically decided to press that out, because I was like, oh, okay, I don't know. I was ironing my shirt pretty well too. Like I was ironing my shirt really good. So it's not like whatchamacallit, I was doing like a very bad job. I don't know. The ironing was actually going pretty good until that point. So, you know, what happened is that basically I went over that logo and I tried to like do the best I can with that logo. And what happened was that I ended up completely, like, not completely erasing, but semi-erasing the logo off of the shirt. And I was so mad because I was just like, dang, you know, like, I really almost had it and it messed up. Like, I don't understand how that even happened in the first place. I literally had to do a double take when it came to that mess or that error that I made with the iron, because I was like, dang, I was doing really, really good with this ironing crap, and then this had to happen. I was just in such disbelief. I was so upset because I was like, dang, I'm gonna be one of the only people there with their logo shirt messed up, and it just looked a mess. And that's when I learned that day that, you know, ironing just isn't for me. I don't know, using a dryer honestly makes sense, you know, because when you're done, you know, ironing, when you're done drying your clothes, you know, you could just automatically fold them. You know, I know like people like, you know, complain about wrinkles and all that, but my thing is like, well, I mean, with wrinkles, you can just get rid of that with putting your clothes in the dryer. I don't really understand the point of having to, put your clothes, you know, ironing your clothes so much, and you could just put them in the dryer. You can just, you know, put it in there for however long that you need to put them in for. And then once you're done, you're done. You know, you don't need to do really anything else. Like, you just put your clothes in the dryer. It's already, you know, dunely made, and you're just golden. I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. I thought that everyone does this, because me personally, I don't iron my clothes. I don't really find it to make sense that, you know, ironing is just needed. I mean, maybe if it's like a really, really fancy suit or, you know, stuff like that, but even then, I don't know. Not really. I'm not really a big avid ironing fan because of my mess ups, and I honestly think that ironing is for older people, because I don't know, I've never seen people my age a lot ironing at all. Like, that's, I don't know, that's just me. I've never seen people my age iron, and you know, unless it's maybe for like some like really, really like fancy wear, but I don't know, that's just me. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, I feel like we don't really use our inventions that you know, that we have that wisely anyways, because it's like, well, you know, I know people say, well, drying is for like drying off your clothes and that's it, but you can also add some other stuff to your dryer as well, like, you know, dryer sheets and all that, to make sure that your clothes, you know, have, you know, extra starch in them. And there are other things that you can do by making sure to take, you know, when the dryer is done, you know, by the timer that's, you know, like on the dryer when it's done, you know, you take out your clothes automatically and fold them, making sure that, you know, the the clothes are automatically dry, and you don't have to wait, you know, a million, you know, you don't have to wait that long for your clothes to be all good, set in stone, you know, because maybe the number one reason why we have our clothes be wrinkly and out of, you know, shape or whatever is because we don't tend to you know, fold our clothes automatically. Sometimes we just wait. And it's like, no, y'all are not supposed to wait until your clothes dry, like at all. You're not supposed to do that. You know, like listen, like when I do my laundry, I automatically get my clothes out of the dryer, automatically. And I fold them as quickly as possible before they get cold, because I love it when the clothes out of the dryer are hot. I love that, because the more, you know, hot that they are, the less wrinkles that you're gonna have on your clothes. And if you end up having wrinkles, you know, instead of popping out the iron, literally all you can do is just, you know, just pop the clothes back in the dryer for however many settings that you want it on. It's just that simple. I just don't believe in making stuff harder for yourself that you just don't need to make harder for yourself at all. Like, no, like, it really can be that easy. You just got to make it easy on yourself, you know? And, you know, I don't know. Me, I just like to be very creative and innovative. And for me, it's just like, let's do it the smart way and not the hard way. And for me, the smart way is just putting it back in the dryer, and it's all set in stone, and you just don't gotta do anything else but do that. But I don't know, that's just me. I don't know. And I feel like also, last thing with ironing, you know, you tend to see the older generations do it the most, because, you know, even when they did have dryers, because I know like dryers and washing machines definitely have been a thing, but even older, you know, people, especially back then, still use ironing. And I'm not gonna say like ironing isn't useful, but like for every single day, I mean, unless you're getting like dress up every day, I mean maybe, but I don't know. Even for then, is kind of like, I'm not sure. But yeah, y'all, so using a dryer instead of an iron would be the second thing that I would do as a young hoe. Okay, y'all, so the third and last thing that I do as a young hoe would be going into the grocery store without a basket. I don't know, I haven't seen this specific point being talked about a lot, but for me, obviously definitely relates. I don't know, like, I don't know, maybe it's because like I don't know, I just don't really like to make things, you know, harder on myself. Like I've sort of repeated in the last 2 points, like for me, it's like the easier that I can make it on myself, the better. Having a full cart sometimes, and you know, sometimes I do, you know, take a full cart out, but like if I don't have to take out a full cart unless I'm shopping for like full groceries, but that's like very rarely, like, you know, happens for me, then I just use my hands. And also, I mean, us, you know, women, us young women especially, you know, these hands, you know, they are just magic, because, you know, I know we've seen the memes of how, you know, like girls can carry so many things in their hands, and how, you know, boys would just have to hold, you know, they don't have like that kind of like hand grip to hold everything, and us girls just naturally have it. And I definitely think that is the case, because it's like, yeah, I mean, especially since most clothing for women don't have pockets, you know, we have to, you know, resort to holding things with it within our hands. And, you know, that's actually not a bad thing to do. You know, I some people would call it very innovative and very original, because I mean, shoot, like when I'm in the store, yeah, I am like carrying everything in either my hands or my arms, because it's like, and I literally just rush to the aisle. I mean, not the aisle, I just rush to the register as fast as I can before I drop everything. I don't know, because it's like, I don't know, if you're gonna grab a few things, then just go and whatchamacallit, just use your hands instead. Unless you're like full on grocery shopping, then yeah, use a basket or whatever. But I don't know, I feel like using a basket and a cart is just like extra work for no reason. And it's just like, I don't know, I don't really want to put all of that extra help on myself for no reason. I would rather just, you know, use my hands and my arms, you know. Not a big deal. So it is what it is. And yeah, I don't know, to me it's just very innovative just to do that instead, because I mean, shoot, also I probably have to go as well. Like, I just can't just, you know, stay in the store taking my dang time. You know, I probably have some place to be. So, you know, instead of like, you know, using a cart and then, or a basket and then putting back the cart or putting back the basket, what I can do instead is just use my hands. And I don't know, also sometimes, putting back the cart, depending on the weather, like for example, if it's like really, really cold, you don't want to go back from your car and just put back the cart, you know, outside on the little cart rack, or even, you know, well, with a basket, you would just like put it back inside. But I don't know. Again, like I said, at times it could just be too much work, and I don't really want to do that work at all if I don't have to. So yeah, I don't know. For me, and for probably just young people in general, we're just trying to be innovative, you know, we're trying to be creative. We're trying, you know, to find a new way to do things, you know? But yeah, you guys, going into the grocery store and, you know, using my hands instead of a grocery basket or a cart would be the third and last thing that I would do as a young hoe. Alrighty, you guys, so we are done with this makeup look. It's very, very pink, very, very pink with a dash of red. Really like that my hair is in a bun, because I know y'all haven't seen this style before, so I really hope that y'all like it. And I really like my makeup. Like, my makeup is eating. Kind of have to fix a little bit of the eyeshadow a little bit, that way they're not so harsh of lines. But yeah, y'all, I hope that y'all really enjoyed this topic. I loved talking about this topic so much because it just related to me so much, and I hope that y'all also were thinking about like, what are some things that I also do as a young hoe. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you all enjoyed. I hope that y'all will have an amazing Monday, an amazing week, and I will see all of y'all's beautiful faces next time. Bye, guys.